Good afternoon, friends. This is Hitesh from Anukelkas Pathan Academy. So today we'll be back with some another problem statement based on SQL, and the problem statement is patient support analysis. Okay, so basically this is asked in United Health SQL interview question. So let's see what is problem statement. So United Health Group has a program is called Advocate for Me, which allows policyholder or member to call an advocate or receive support for their healthcare needs. Whether that claim and benefit support, drug coverage, pre and post authorization, medical records, and emergency assistance or member portal services are there. So we have to write a query to find how many United Health Group policyholders made 3 or more call, assuming that each call should be identified by case ID column. Okay. So let's see what is the table we are given. So caller is the name of table where we have few columns they are given. Policyholder ID which is of integer type, case ID which is of varchar, call category which is varchar, call date it is timestamp given to you which is a combination of date and time, call duration which is in integer form. Okay. So here data along with table is given to you. So this is a policyholder 1, their case ID is this, and the call category is emergency assistance. So they had called 23 for April 13th, and this is a time zone. Again, the same policyholder had called for authorization on the very next day. Then the new policyholder 2 is there, which was claim for assistance. They are called on 26th January. Again, the same caller has called for emergency assistance on the 9th of March 23rd, and the same caller has called for benefits. Okay, so we have to find out how many United Health Group has policyholder had made a call which is 3 or more than 3. Okay, and each call should be identified as a case ID column. So let's see, we will write a query first. So we have to find out how many policyholder has called 3 or more than 3 times. So for that we will use first aggregate function as a count. Okay, so he can find how can count how many call has made by each person which is authorized by their case ID column. Okay, so we had given the name as of this count star as a policyholder account. So we will write as a policy holder count from now here we use nested query of select statement. So from the inner query or nested query or subquery, we call it as subquery. So we can find out what is the policy holder ID they had called for 2, 3 or more than 3 times. So we write here policy holder ID from callers table. So it multiple calls has been made by the same policy holder that should be identified by the policy holder ID. So for that we have used here group by clause, due to which it grouped the policy holder ID. So we had used here group by clause, group by policy holder ID. from table name. So table name is callers. So after the group by we have to pass a condition. So condition is always passed after group by. We have used having clause. Having count, we have to find out how many call has been made by the policyholder ID. So for that we will use here count function which were applied on policyholder ID column. Count policyholder ID, that should be 3 or more than 3 calls. So we have to use here greater than or equal to 3. Okay, and that should be this inner query we will given as an alias by using as keyword. As we will write as an alias name as an frequent call. So frequent call, and its query should be end with semicolon. So till now we had written here. So now let's see whether our query is correctly run or not. So they had called 38 times. Okay, but still it give error. Let's submit it whether they will correct or not. Okay, so person has called 38 times. Okay, so a person those who had called 3 or more than 3 times. So there are 38 persons, okay, which were identified by policyholder ID. So let's go through again. So here they had tried to ask how many policyholder should be identified by policy uh, holder ID. So we have to find out how many policy holder ID they had called for 3 or more than 3 times. So for that we will use here subquery. So from the outer query we will get the number of calls has been made by the policy holder. From the inner query we will get the policy holder ID. Okay. So we had called a policy. We had to find out the policy holder ID from the callers table. So that we have to use group by clause which is applied on policyholder ID, and after the group by we have to pass condition how many policyholder had called 3 or more than 3 times. So for that we will use having clause. Okay, and so the inner query we will use as an alias as a frequent caller. So they will get the policyholder ID from the inner query, and after the inner query has been get the from that output they will count the policy holders how many times the policy holder has called. So they had called 38 policy holders are there, those who have called 3 or more than 3 times. Okay, so this is we had achieved expected output. Okay, so in that basically you have to main focus on subquery and the aggregate function, and rest of our things are easy. So if you have any doubt regarding this problem statement, so please do comment us. Thank you.